working class, work for thinking class, and the school teaches to become the working class.
Wow.
Sunil Tulsiani is an author, mentor, philanthropist, and founder of Professional Investment Club.
Most people, when they started, their parents, their relatives will say, "You're crazy, you're stupid, don't do it. This is not the way to do it." That means you're going the right way. We were poor. We were very poor. We had no toilets, no electricity, and no running water. I remember one day my father came and we had one apple, and we were five, so he cut in 5 pieces, and we were fighting who gets the bigger piece for one apple, and that was luxury to us. Crazy. What I did was I wrote down, I, Sunil Tulsiani, will make $1 million by this date. I signed it and dated it. I made 16 handwritten copies of it, and I put it all over my home. Spent more than $1 million on me since then. Going to events, meeting people, mentoring.
How much?
More than $1 million.
How much that $1 million made you?
You know. One day, a gangster and
You've taught to celebrities, you've taught to Bollywood actors, you've taught to thousands of students. What is Plerking, Sunil?
sitting in a village in India, the only thing you need is 2 things. One, internet, and
Sunil, first of all, welcome to the Learn with Jaspal podcast.
thank you, Jaspal.
Sunil, how did your journey started from slums in Delhi? I'm more fascinated about your journey into slums because you've not spoken about much. Like, how did it start from Delhi and then you went to Canada. So how did that change happen? Who supported you? Like, what was the early days when, let's go back to those days.
Well, I was brought up I was born in Katni, small town, and then we moved to Delhi. My father moved to Delhi, and my father was a factoryman.
Okay.
And basically, in those days, I think he was making $400 rupees per month.
Okay.
And-
400 rupees per month.
per month. Okay, and that in those days, 400 rupees obviously had more value than today, right? Today, even the taxi driver is charging me 4,000, not 400.
Right.
But the point here is we were poor. We were very poor, and I always lived in areas that was like, railway colony. If you see some of the movies with the slums, where people are, putting their clothes and they're running around and all that, and it looks like slums.
Right.
That's where we lived, basically. And I did not know that I lived in slums when I lived in slums.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah,
normal, right?
yeah.
But I did know one thing, that the rich people and poor people differences. But the way we handled that, my father and my mother handled it very carefully, was that rich people were bad, good people, poor people were good. Rich people, you don't want to be rich because rich people are weak and then poor people are strong. So they always told me being poor was a prize rather than being rich.
Wow.
And rich people are lalchi, they are greedy, and they don't their friendship is selfish friendship, whereas the poor people, when they become friends, they always stick to each other, right? And because of that, I actually experienced that narrative.
When did that mindset change?
Yeah. And then even I remember once my teacher in grade 5 or 6 in Delhi asked the question, how many of you, if you had a choice, be rich or poor? And I found myself raising hand by saying, I would rather be poor.
Huh?
Yeah, because everybody around, my teachers, my religious leaders, media, the movies, my parents. In fact, my favorite actor, if you look at in the world in those days, whether it's Hollywood or Bollywood or whatever, was absolutely, without a doubt, was Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay.
And when you look at Amitabh Bachchan, and I analyzed it many years later, he never usually plays a rich guy. He always plays a poor guy. He's fighting the owner
Angry
of
young
the
man.
factory, and he's fighting the factory owner. And the owners are always bad. The rich people are always bad. Right?
Crazy.
So I wanted to be like him. Right?
I didn't observe that. Yeah,
Yes.
this is crazy.
So if you go back, all the rich actors portrayed poor in the movie to connect with us,
Yeah.
which was crazy, right?
So brain hacker mind.
And my brain was saying,
So what was the motive behind that? Like, why did they played poor guys?
they want, it's a business. They want people to show up in theaters. Simple as that. And we have population in India that could be good or not so good. One of the good things about having this population is that you can fill theaters faster.
Right.
So in those days, especially in 70s and 60s, 70s and 80s, even 90s, really the only entertainment was movies. So they controlled our mind through actors that we looked up to. And we didn't know that, but that's what they were doing.
Right, right.
So I remember, but deep down somewhere, I always wanted to believe that I want to be rich. I always wanted to. In fact, I would go to school, walk, kilometers or whatever, and I go there
Of kilometers.
several kilometers to go to school every day, come back. And while I'm walking, occasionally I would say to the guys, because I saw in some movies that there's a car going by and a suitcase falls off, like a little black suitcase in those days, like a briefcase. And nobody sees it. And I opened it fell in front of me, and I opened it, and it's filled with all cash.
Is it real?
No, in my mind. In my mind. And in my mind, I would make this story up that I would tell nobody. I'll take it home. I won't even tell my parents. I'll hide it somewhere. And occasionally I'll take money and I can do whatever I want. Because all I heard from my parents was, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. I remember one day my father came and we had one apple and we were five. So he cut in 5 pieces. And we were fighting who gets the bigger piece for one apple, and that was luxury to us. So when we moved and we built a house, my father built a house, really outskirts of Delhi in those days. Now it's part of Delhi, Tughlakabad area, and there we had no toilets, no electricity, and no running water. So I remember with my father, we would go to well, and we would take. That was a thing to do, bring water. And we remember lining up. We remember fighting with people, people butting in and all that stuff. I remember all that stuff. And I remember every Sunday, there used to be a movie, a Doordarshan. There used to be one movie that came on Saturday evening. So I would walk for miles to go to somebody else's home, okay? And they would have a small TV, and they would sit on sofa, and we would sit on their floors.
Right.
And then if somebody says get out, we would knock onto another door, and we just keep knocking until somebody says, okay, you can sit. And that was our thing to do, with other kids. And we would go in, and in cold or whatever, 9:30, 10 p.m., all the kids would then walk back.
But I think this is not a struggle story.
No.
I'll tell you why. There's a reason. My father says the same thing, right?
Yeah.
That when we were so young, so we were not we were middle class or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because I come from a Thakur family, so we had a lot of land, but we didn't had cash growing up. My father and everything. So they was like the same thing. When they were young, so they used to go to other people's house and they used to see the TVs and movies from the that windows. So they used to see Mahabharata and Ramayana, and back then those days from that thing. So I think it's every 90s guy can relate to that thing.
Mine is actually early 80s.
Early 80s,
late
sorry.
70s.
Yeah. Even at that time when then the television was in, and there used to be only one channel called Doordarshan, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
So the struggling part, I would say, for us was, if we were to say super rich, forget the top elite, right? The billionaires, or super rich, upper middle class, lower middle class, upper poor, middle poor. We were lower poor.
Below poverty line.
Yeah.
BPL.
So it was something that chocolate. I never tasted chocolate because I saw it in movies. I saw people cut cakes in the movies. I didn't know what that meant when you celebrate a birthday like that. Going in a car was not a thing. You'd never go in a taxi. You always hang out from the buses. Okay. And riding my bike which was 6 feet tall.
That Atlas cycle.
At least I felt like that. And then you put it in between. And
I know. Call it catchy.
Catchy, yes. So we bought that bike that was old. It was an old bike that we bought, and that's what I did. Okay.
Right.
So the idea though is, I saw my parents just struggle with every rupee that they wanted to save. Every rupee, although they said money's bad, but then at the second breath they say, study hard so you can make money, which kind of didn't make sense to me. But it was like that. And also, certain professions were automatically bad.
Right.
And certain professions were automatically noble.
Right.
Doctor,
what?
Doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Why?
Because I think
They are bad people.
they're good people. Because they make enough money, but they're not super rich. Okay? So you have to make money, but don't be lalchi. So the definition of lalchi is defined by them. because Lachi just means don't have too much money. Now, if you live in a town, um, 50,000 rupees is a lot,
Right.
maybe. If you live in a Mumbai, 50,000 maybe, nothing.
Of course.
So basically, it was the society saying if he makes 50,000, he makes 50,000, he makes 55,000, then maybe you can make 60
Right.
or 70, 70. But if you start asking them more, then you are bad. So basically, we stayed in that area, we stayed in that environment, and what happened was my father bought a land, and we built a house, and then 2 or 3. Now this is the first time we were happy because we were not renting from anybody else.
Right.
Now a notice came,
Right.
and I hardly have shared this, but notice came, and in that notice it said all the houses in this fence on this side were legal, and all other houses on this side were
Illegal.
illegal. And we were literally 2 doors down from the fence saying it's illegal. And then I remember,
It must have been a big loss.
yeah, so then the notice came that you have 30 days or 60 days to leave.
Oh my God.
Okay. And everybody initially thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. And then I remember that day came where the big guys came with police and all that, and they started breaking everybody's houses. Like they would break them halfway and leave to the next house. Break. So now you have no roof basically, and then the walls were this high. All the guys, men, went to fight basically, and then the police was there and all that stuff. So my father disappeared in the morning, and we didn't know what was going on. And three of us, I was maybe 11, and then I had young kids, young brothers and sisters, who was like 6 and 9 or something, 6, 9, and 11. So I remember my mother, and then we could see further down that house is being smashed, that house is being smashed, and then they sent us a warning saying, you take the stuff out, you have a choice. You can keep the stuff in and we'll break it so everything will disappear, or you can take the stuff out, put it on the streets, okay, and then we'll break it. So I remember us running back and forth.
Oh my God.
And then we were on the streets, like little gully, and in the gully made of broken roads, and our stuff was literally just thrown on, like we just picked it up as much as we can, and then we were there. And now it's like maybe 4 o'clock, and it's getting colder.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they came, and I remember my mother crying, and we were cursing our father because we didn't know where he was. But later on, I found out that he was fighting. Right? They actually, what they did was they bought a big police bus, and they took all the men and put them inside and took them to the jail, basically, so that they can't fight. We didn't know that until next time, right? So now we have no father. We're and they come in, and my mom is fighting them. And then they were literally taking people and throwing them out so then they can break them. So they had people like that, big guys. So I remember sitting there, house broken, my mom is crying, and we're just sitting on the street, three little kids, and we didn't know what to do. And then now it's getting a little darker, it's getting colder. I remember that being the toughest part. So, you know, then we were able to somewhat somebody helped us. We kind of stayed in their home, and then slowly my father, me, our kid, we all got together. I remember taking the bricks and making the walls, building it.
You built a house again.
Yeah, we did it ourselves, and we just wouldn't move. Nobody would move. And then we hired somebody to do the roof a little bit. Then
Right.
we're helping them, so we don't have to pay too much money and all that stuff. So long story short, my uncle was in Canada, and my father was what we call pattern maker.
Your uncle was in Canada.
Yeah, at that time. My uncle was already in Canada, and he was a pattern maker. Same skills as my father. My father worked under my uncle when he started in place called.
So how did your father got access to Canada?
Very good question. So one day, my uncle in Canada is doing the work, and the owner comes along and says, "I need a good pattern maker." And the problem was Canada.
What is pattern maker?
So if you wanted to build airplane part or glasses, what they do is they make patterns with metal.
Okay, patterns maker.
Yeah. So he basically, from blueprint, you give him that, and precisely with his hands, with grinding the metal and with sandpaper, like his hands.
Got
are
it, got
skilled. So it's skilled, very skilled work. So in Canada, they were not producing pattern makers. No college, no university, or not fast enough.
Right.
So my uncle jokingly said to him, "Well, I have a brother who's really good." He goes, "But he's in India." He said, "Okay, bring him. If you think he's good, bring him because I need him."
Huh.
So he needed pattern makers.
Right.
So the skill that was seen low, here in
Here they
India,
are.
it was seen high over there because the labor cost is higher there, right? Or you get paid well.
Right.
So I remember my uncle and then went to him, and my dad received an offer to pay, he will sponsor, he will guarantee a 3 years or 5 year job at starting at $10 an hour in 1981. $10 an hour in 1981. My father just thought that he became, in those days, lakpati. And lakpati was big thing in those days, right? He couldn't believe what maybe by then he was making 450 or 500 rupees a month.
Right.
Okay, so now he got offer for $10 an hour, and if you take for inflation, right, that's like 900 rupees per hour.
Wow.
Yeah. So even if you take inflation into account, it's like getting an
900
offer
rupees per hour must be crazy.
1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So today,
From 400 rupees per month salary to 900 rupees per hour.
yeah, imagine that. So I mean, it just sounds like crazy, right? So, but anyways, then we got sponsored, and we went to Canada, and then when we went to Canada, we ended up living in rental areas of Toronto.
I have an interesting question. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Uh, did your accent change after going to Canada, or like how did your accent change? Or after you lived there for like 20, 30 years, or more, your 20s and 30s are there, how did your accent change? Because it's not Indian.
Of course, of
It's
course.
Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like American and Canadian are basically same.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, there are some tiny differences. But when I went to, I was in grade 6, and the English that I spoke was A B C D E F G H I, capital versus small. My name is. So I definitely, when I went there, I didn't realize that, but the people over there said, "What are you doing? What is this?" They were making fun of me. I didn't think I was saying it that way, but they hear it that way. Okay,
They still do make fun of
no,
Indians?
no.
Okay.
So the first 5 years, I'd say, there's a transition period in 5 years that automatically somehow
You learn.
becomes you learn, and it's practice. Even in India, my number one, like, let's say if somebody says to me, "What should I do to become wealthy in India?" I want to be a chartered accountant. I want to be a lawyer. I want to have a business. I want to do real estate, whatever. And there, let's say in a city, or let's say my town, Katni, some of the people I'm godfather to, kids to. And I say the first thing you should do is learn how to speak English, American accent. And today you can hire people, coaches from US or anything like that you can just practice. And all of a sudden, because you speak that type of English, just because of that, you probably will get a better job
Of course.
in India. And if you open up your own practice, you probably will be able to hire more,
Of course.
like charge more.
Yeah.
All it takes is just repetition. And today, because of the AI, and today because you can hire coaches for very inexpensive from all over the world, so they combine AI with a real coach. Okay, so a real coach might come and see you once a week, but then you can practice the AI words again and again and again, and one day, and then try to find a friend who
Yeah.
also wants to do this,
Yeah.
and then practice.
Yeah, this is one of the most important skill you've spoken, right? I told you about it this yesterday,
Yes.
right? It's the most important thing.
Yeah, and it's good or bad.
Yeah.
But English is international language. It is the international language, and more people speak English in India than almost any other country.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you learn, I say forget about too much about writing. It's the verbal communication that you can practice that would be extremely valuable anywhere in the world. You can actually go to China, and yes, there are some areas you can't, but you really can get by almost anywhere in the world if you speak English. I would say 80 to 90% of the world
Yeah.
will do that, right? So there are other languages, Hindi, Chinese, and Spanish, of course, French. There's others, but English has to be the most spoken language and all over the world. So that's what I'm saying to people is that it's not about the one mistake, and I hope the people here don't mind this. There are a lot of English coaching centers in India. And when I see the teachers, they themselves need that coaching.
Crazy.
You
No,
know?
you're right. The best way to learn English is from Netflix. I think if you want to learn American or Canadian English, just watch those shows,
Yes.
and you'll automatically pick up some nuances, some verbs,
Yes.
some idioms and everything. What's other than speaking English, everyone in India or young kids can learn, which can give them opportunities abroad, beyond India. They can grab opportunities, and if someone's going to Canada or they're going to US or they want to work there, what sort of skills they need to learn? Maybe communication is the one thing you mentioned.
Yes.
English is one thing you mentioned.
Yeah. English communication skills, that at least verbal communication skill in English is good. Like even today, my spelling is not the best. My grammar may not be the best. I may not know where to put all the time, where the commas, but I can speak the language. And therefore, people ask me, have you done PhD? Have you done? I haven't. So what I do is I take something that's complicated and simplify it. In the olden days, they used to take something that's simplified and complicated, so then you look like smart. So
Right.
today, smart thing is the other way around. So what I would do is, if I was somebody in India, I would find somebody like me or another person that you want to work for first. And the second is you learn two skills anywhere in the world. It doesn't have to be both. It could be one or the other, but both is good. And one is marketing. The other is selling. Marketing and selling. Let me give you an
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Somebody comes to me and says, I want a job. I might say, well, I don't have a job. Somebody comes to me and says, I want to send you clients to give you $100,000 in the next 6 months. I might, and you don't have to pay me until I prove, right? So let's say you learn how to close, how to sell, right? And you take a course, and you can take international courses, for $1,000 or $10,000. So they teach you the skills, practice this and that. You don't even have to go to US these days. You can do it. But if you can go to these live events, then that's the best,
Right.
because now you connect with people, meet people. And all. So if you came to me, I'm just making this up.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you came to me and
Yeah.
said, look, I'm going to help sell, $1 million worth of product, and I don't need paid. I just need you to pay me when I do it.
Yeah.
The chances of you getting the job is higher than
Of
if
course,
you come
yeah.
to job. Number one. Number two, if you came to me and said, I'm going to send you the clients. So that's marketing.
Right.
Right, which is what you do to some degree.
Yeah.
Right. So anybody who knows how to do Facebook ads, anybody who can do online ads, anybody who can do copywriting, anybody who can do all these things.
Yeah.
Basically, don't say I know copywriting. Say I can send you clients. Right. Because I don't care about the copywriting.
Right.
Or if you say, I design things so that your high paying clients come to you rather than you go to them. Or the new clients come to you and pay
Right.
you. So what happens is you can do that, and then you go to LinkedIn, and then you put in the words, let's say high-end coaches, high-end speakers, trainers, or account, whatever. And then you send them a message. And even if they are third connections, you can buy the LinkedIn premium even for a month or two.
Right.
And now you can reach out to them, send them messages, what I just said.
Right.
Hi, Sunil, you're doing amazing at the Professional Investors Club. I saw this from you, and you have helped so many people. I noticed you're also doing this. I want to send high-paying clients to you. When can we speak?
Right.
Something like that. So now you send this to 50 people. LinkedIn today can give you those 50 people by you doing the advanced search. You can say best-selling authors in Toronto,
Right.
New York.
How do you mail and DM? Is there a structure? If someone sends you a mail that I want to work with this Sunil.
No, not work with you. So I want to. It's. I'm gonna give you something.
So let's put it this way. What mails you would reply if someone wants a reply from you?
Yeah,
What sort of mail he or she needs to write?
short, okay, and nothing about what that they want to sell me something. Not in the beginning. What you do is you send a message saying, "Hello, I am so and so, and I can bring this to you." Okay, and if you have a testimony, you put a link there, or video testimony, whatever it is, and it should
Portfolio.
be short. That's number one. Number two could be you record a video of yourself. but not a generic video. You say hello, their name. You record a 2-minute video or 60-second video and tell them how you can bring money to them, how you can bring clients to them, how you can make their thing free. And I'm not going to charge you anything. And if you are charging, you say, and I won't be charging you anything for the first video or first whatever.
Crazy.
It's free. And there's no obligation. Okay. May I send this to you? Okay, hey, I'm a LinkedIn writer and I saw your LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn's awesome, but there are some things that I would love to change that was going to bring you more clients. Again, tied with money and the clients. And I will do it for free.
Got it. So you need to give first.
Give first. Okay, give first. And then you prove that that's what's happening, right?
Yeah.
And then so today you have thousands and thousands and thousands of speakers, authors, consultants, service providers, whatever, that do the advertising on Facebook, let's say, and then those prospects come, but they can't close.
Right.
Okay, so you can say you don't need a website, you don't need a product or service, you don't need anything to even deliver anything.
Right.
All you do is you say to them, okay, the guy says, okay, I'm going to teach you how to write a book. Okay, and then prospects sign up, they go to automated calendar, and then from calendar, you become their closer,
Right.
salesperson, and then that person is now coming to you, and all you do is you say, how can I help you? And then you close them, put a little deposit when you're done. They speak to 10 people, and let's say if you have 10% closing rate, 20%, 1 or 2 people will say yes. And now you close a $10,000 product in US, so you get 10, 15% or more. So now you're getting $10 to $1,500 every time you close somebody. And now no product, no service, no delivery, nothing. That person is going to do the advertisement. That person has the
Crazy.
website. That person has the testimonials. That person is going to take care of everything. You basically are the person sitting in a village in India. The only thing you need is 2 things. 1, internet, and no noise.
What do you mean by no noise?
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Or people yelling at, like I remember.
Negative mindset.
No. There's no negative mindset. If you're selling something and your father is there and your father is telling his son, Idhar aao, oye." See what I mean? Now you're talking to somebody in Paris.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't look professional.
Yeah.
So the only thing we need in India is if we, as much as possible, and good
Being professional.
being professional, and being professional means no noise. But if you can somehow seal the noise or reduce the noise or you go to your family and say, for next 3 hours, I'm doing this, please don't make noise.
Nowadays, there are a lot of cafes, there are a lot of places where you can work.
Yeah, you can do that. What I'm saying is if you have the internet and if you can somehow not have that noise, it really is all you need.
Okay.
And you can build, let's say you close 10 people at $1,500. That's $15,000 USD. You can make from your home, or 20 people, that's 30,000 USD. It's doable. The only thing is you need the skill, which you can get now. Not in the olden days, you had to fly to US,
Right.
and learn. Right now, you can learn a sales in 3 to 6 months, even less, and you can actually start with that.
Right. That's the problem now. A lot of people feel in India, right? Like not the feel, it's the mindset of a lot of young Indians is that why should I pay to a coach, right? Or why should I, even a communication course, they'll feel like I learn on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? What do you think? Why you need a coach, or why? What's the importance of a coach in one's life? Like to learn even the smallest of things, right? Why do you need a coach?
Well, the answer to that is very simple. I ask people, when they're overweight, I ask them, do you know what to do? Most of them know that you eat properly and exercise, right? Really?
Right.
And now, once you ask, I ask them, go out and see how many people are overweight.
Right.
Okay. And so why do you need a coach is because number one asset we have is focus. Focus. Warren Buffett and his friend were sitting having lunch, and a young man walks up to them, recognizes them, and Bill Gates and Warren.
Yeah, Bill Gates, yeah.
And he says, I'm sorry to bug you, but if you had to give one advice, one thing that somebody can do to become rich, and they both, without talking to each other, said one word. They said focus. Focus. So focus is a currency that is rare today. And you need focus to become successful, to become wealthy, to become rich. You need focus.
Of course.
So today, when you go on YouTube, do you ever go on YouTube watching one video or one short and then you end up watching a second?
No, it's a session.
Yeah, right. So what do you need? First of all, none of the videos, 99% of the time, there are very exceptions, are going to give you the whole thing. They're going to give you maybe, let's say there's a 10 steps to becoming rich. In the video, what they'll do is they'll give you 5 steps, and the other 5 steps are missing. And it's missing because that's the other 5 steps you have to pay for.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, you need somebody to say, did you do the step 1? Let's say it's 10-week course and it's 10 steps. Most people will start, but majority of them will not finish. That's the second reason you need somebody to that. Third is, if somebody you're listening to is successful and they're giving you a recipe and then inspiring you to take action, then chances of you getting what they have is higher.
Right.
So if you make the best dosa, best sambar we had yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's say I come to you and you make the best sambar and best dosa.
Right.
And I want to do that. And you say you have the recipe. Now the recipe is also printed on pieces of paper by other people.
Right.
But somehow it's not coming out the same way. Okay?
There's some secret ingredient.
Yeah. So you and I will sit in the kitchen and you're going to tell me, I'm going to teach you this, this, and this. And now you're going to, flame has to be this much. The oil has to be this much. The masala has to be just like that. The salt has to be this much. Let me show you how to do it.
Right.
And then after he shows you, then I do it myself. I'm not listening to a video or anything like that. So now I'm doing it. Now there are things you can learn from video and all that, small stuff, no problem. But the chances are you're not going to do it, even if they give it to you for free.
Right.
Because when you pay attention. When you don't pay attention. You don't value it.
Right.
So that's another reason to have it. And the last is, they go back to 5,000 years, 10,000 years. You wanted to be a warrior, and you see a warrior.
Right.
What's the best way to learn? From a book? From a video? No. From that person.
Exactly.
Let me show you. You put your hands like this. Keep trying. And then show me. And by the way, I want this move. I want you to do this move 100 times.
Right.
Perfectly. And then I want the other hand to do 100 times. On your own, you won't do it.
Of course.
So that's why.
It's very hard to be accountable, and you need people to watch you.
Yeah. So inspire you to give you focus and then help you with your progress.
Right.
This is the problem. Most people are good starters, but most of them are bad finishers.
This is crazy. Is Canada filled with Indians? Like, there's a lot of this thing right now that.
Yeah, there are certain areas like Toronto, like Calgary, like Vancouver, and some other.
Where do you put up in Canada?
I'm in Toronto area.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's the capital, financial
Yeah.
capital, not capital, financial
Yeah,
capital.
just like Mumbai in India.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's like Mumbai. Yeah, right. And Ottawa is the capital, just like Delhi being the capital, right? But Vancouver and Toronto are the two main cities. Delhi and Mumbai, basically, you can compare them like that. And there are a lot of Indians in Canada, especially in Toronto area and Vancouver area.
How did your journey from, going to Canada, living there, and that turn into? How did you figure out that no, I want to be a detective or I want to get into police? Guide me through that journey.
Good.
And from then we'll go to how did you? If there are lessons, you can please feel free to share in between.
Of course.
But let's talk about how did Sunil Tulsiani figured out that no, I want to be a detective, or how did you become a detective?
Good point. Both of them, right?
Yeah.
So when I was 15 in Toronto, one day my uncle, the same uncle who brought us there, came to me and he said, "Beta, I want you to be a police officer." And
He wanted you to be a police officer.
he did, because remember, my parents had 4 criterias. And if you follow those 4 criterias, you're a good son. If you don't, then you're not like, you're bad.
Okay.
Okay. doctor, engineer, lawyer, government job.
Okay.
Okay.
It's almost all the Indian parents, Sunil. Crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
And that is coming from God, you know how long, right? And so my uncle came to me and he said you should be a police officer. And I remember police officers in Delhi. They were not. It's not something I wanted to be part of.
What's the difference between Indian police and
But let me
Canadian?
finish with that, right?
Okay, we'll come to that. Yeah.
So initially I said no. And then my uncle said, he said, you know, police here are example. They are leaders. They're honest. When you look up somebody, like when you see police officers over there, I would say majority, right? Especially in those days, but majority of the police officers, you look at them and you know that they are the people that you look up to. You look up to because they're on time, they're disciplined, they won't cheat, they won't lie, they won't take bribes,
And they're cool.
and they're it's cooling. The cool.
No, for example, if you see Canadian police, they look cool. Like the
Yeah.
uniform is like Indian police is good. Salute them. Like
Yeah.
people will hate me for saying that.
Yeah.
But if you see in movies like Bollywood movies, Canadian police is so that very cool.
Yeah, and then the training levels are different. They spend more money, for example, in police and training over there. And I have seen big improvement in policing in India as well.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Right.
So when he said so, then he convinced me, and I remember walking out and I looked at all the officers. When I said hi to them, they were polite. They didn't, they would be nice, and we basically, and then that day basically I made my mind that that's what I want to do. So I used to imagine myself with Amitabh Bachchan, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Eddie Murphy. They're all police officers in the movies, especially the Hollywood people. See, in the olden days, being a role of a police was actually not very cool. It was always the bad guy. As time has gone on, now it's like Singham and all that. They made it better, right? But in Hollywood,
Yeah.
that Singham style was 30 years ago. So the actors, people, and the public liked their heroes in the uniform rather than fighting the uniform. Because in the Indian movies, the police officers a lot of times were corrupt.
Right.
And then the hero was fighting the police. And then once in a while, like Janjeer and all, Amitabh Bachchan was an police and all that.
Nice police officer.
Yeah, they was nice, right? So, but in the other ones, they were tough, they were strong, they beat the crime, they beat up the bad guys.
Angry young man,
And,
like fighting the rich guy always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was the areas that I lived, I saw drugs and some prostitutions and some gangs, because again we lived in a bad area of Toronto. And I remember growing up when I was 16, 17, I used to say, one day when I become a police officer, you watch, all of you. This is what I used to think.
Crazy.
You watch and I will, clean up the whole
Danda leke marunga.
I know. I thought I would clean up the whole street because I knew each alley. I knew the backgrounds of everything. You know why?
Yeah.
Because we were so poor, we couldn't afford gym or memberships or anything like that. So after I go to school, then I sometimes go to part-time job, and then I come home. Then in the evenings I play, and then at 9 or 10 p.m. at night, I would run 5 kilometers on the streets.
Wow.
Now, imagine you running on a street that at night where all the bad things happen. So I would go, I was so naive, right? I thought nothing will happen to me. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
So I would run.
Yeah.
And one day, a gangster, and another time was a pimp, and as I was running, he's like, come here. And I wouldn't come. I thought, well, why should I come here? So, and then he's like getting angry with me. And I remember I got into a chase where he's chasing me. And the only reason I won is because I can outrun him.
Yeah.
Okay? Because in the chase, the first 30 to 60 seconds defines whether you're going to be able to catch him.
Right.
Most people can run fast, but most people cannot run fast for a long time.
Right.
Okay, and at the distance gets closer versus further. So with me,
We are discussing the running.
I was running
Yeah.
and I was zipping in and out because I was able to run.
Crazy.
And then while I'm running, I said, one day it'll be the other way around. I'll be chasing you. Right? So what I'm saying is that it was fun for me at the same time, and then the bad thing about this was that I was a very bad student. I was not a good student in Delhi. I used to just go in the classroom before, and I would tell the teacher, "Go ahead, hit me."
In
first.
Canada also, do you need to be good in studies to become a police officer?
Yes, in Canada. In Canada, you have to have minimum of 75% marks minimum in everything, and then also average above 75.
Right.
So, but here it was passing is 50 over there, 75 is the minimum, and but I was bad. I was not. I used to copy. I used to write stuff even on my hand. I used to sit beside.
Okay, you've taken notes and chips and everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Formulas I used to write.
Yeah.
And I used to, talk to the smart person.
Yeah.
And I sit beside them
Do
and
you
say,
throw the pens on his head and like, "Tu
Yeah.
mere ko bata."
I was a bad student, even with the teacher.
Oh.
When the teachers came, when they looked the other way, I would throw something at them and pretend I didn't throw it. But there are times when I would walk in, I knew they knew. I said, go ahead. And they would hit me a few times.
Yeah.
When I went to Canada, they can't. So I thought I was in
But
heaven.
why they can't hit you?
They can't touch kids in Canada.
Oh, that's so
even in
nice.
the 80s.
That's nice.
And
Even in the 80s, didn't used to
no,
be.
no, they can't even yell at you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, if you don't do it, I will give you a pink slip.
What is a pink slip?
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, oh my God, pink slip. And what's this pink slip? Is they write that I was not behaving, and then I have to take it to home and give it to my parents. But by this time, I learned how to sign my father's signature.
Oh, wow. Huh.
So nothing really happened. And
If your father got the pink slip, he would beat you.
yeah, he would. He would. And after you get 3 pink slips, you go to a detention.
Ah.
I said, oh my God, detention sounds so bad. What is detention? They go, after school, you get to sit in a classroom for 30 minutes with other
Detention students.
students. I said, they're my friends though.
We are all backbenchers.
So that was
It's a dream to go at the detention.
When I came home, my mom was like, why are you late? I said, oh, we had extracurricular stuff.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
So basically, I was a very bad student, and to the point where when I was in grade 8, my counselors came and said there is a normal people school, which is high school or whatever, and there is a school for special people like you.
Okay. For backbenchers.
And no, so this is for people who are not very smart intelligently.
Okay.
And so I didn't know what that meant. And I said, he goes, I think you should go to that school. And I was fed up with school. I used to skip schools. I didn't like it. Teacher used to say, don't think. I used to just, when teacher was saying something, my mind would go somewhere else and I would imagine better life, better this. And then teacher would catch me and say, answer this. I'm like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Right? And then teacher would tell me, you're not going to amount to anything. Yeah, if you don't study, you're not going to get a good job.
Right.
If you're not going to get a good job, you're going to break on the street. All these kinds of things. So, when I came to Canada, they sent me in grade 9 in special school.
Okay.
So special school is so easy.
Okay.
It's so easy. It was like sending me back to grade 5 or 6.
Okay.
Okay. Because they wanted me to still have. So instead of reading books, they would show us. Let's say movie. There's a book called Outsiders, and there's a movie, Hollywood movie. So instead of reading the book, you would watch the movie.
Wow.
And then once you watch the movie, then they would say, what does this character do? Write it down.
It's nice. They're showing you movies in school.
Yeah. And then the mathematics that I did in India when I was in grade 5, they were doing that in grade 9 in that school. Okay. So fractions were being introduced in grade 9.
Crazy.
It was, so the very first time for a year, I felt like the smartest man, smartest guy, because I was beating those people.
Right.
Right. So anyways, after 1 year, I was told that if you're going to stay here, you can never be a police officer.
Right. Why?
Because those levels, so when...
So less.
Yes, see less.
Yeah.
So you can be a mechanic, you can be a carpenter, you can be a welder, you can be a car mechanic shop, whatever, but you can't be this. So that's what I ended up changing, going to the normal school, and then he used to be my father. Used to say to me in the beginning, "Mark achhi laayo na?" Like this. Did you get good marks? And then I show them, and it's like, oh. Finally, he gave up, and he basically said, "Beta, did you at least pass? Just tell me that you passed, because I want to go tell my family, my brother, my extended family, कि मेरा बेटा pass हो गया. That's all I want." Yeah? So that's what I used to do. 50 was a planning. Sometimes I get 52.
What's the highest number of percentage you got
After when
in school?
And see, the thing is, last 2 years after when I was applying to police force, they count. They don't count below after that.
Oh, very nice.
So when they said you need 75, somehow I got 77.
Wow.
So it's not that I'm against the education. Yeah, I'm against the things that they teach that don't mean much to me, right? But I have a goal. I want to be a police officer. You have a goal. You want to be a doctor. You want to be an engineer. Then if you love it, then you're going to do well. Okay, you cannot compare and ask monkey to swim and ask fish to climb the tree.
Right.
Okay, and then say that you're stupid.
Oh.
Fish can swim, monkey can climb. They're both good.
Right.
So some of us are fishes, some of them are us monkeys, or some of us are tigers. So you cannot tell them to do the same thing. That's
Right.
what happens in school, right? They
Right.
teach you everything. Why do I? If I don't like history, why do I
Why?
need to? Why do I need to learn history?
Yeah, same happens in like engineering colleges, right? I like physics and math, but I don't like chemistry.
Yeah.
But I have to study chemistry.
Exactly. So it's not. That is why after you finish your education, that is when your life starts by going to advanced courses. That's a 1 day, 2 day course or
Right.
seminar because they only talk about that.
Right.
They don't talk about other stuff.
Right. You not just on the school thing, like you learn by yourself and you do what you love, right? It's not we are not taught in school. I'm not sure it's not taught in Canada as well, right? It's like to do what you love, right? It's very hard.
I think we were taught, and there are times people say that, but I think they say it in a way as like passing by. They basically go home and then their parents say, "This is what I want." They said nowadays I know there's some changes, right? But still today, if like I said yesterday to you, there are things that you asked me what are the two things, sales and marketing. I never heard in my life, my parents, my uncles, my extended family, my religious leaders, pundits, anybody, beta, become a great salesperson. I'll be proud of you.
Right.
Never,
Right.
never. What they are saying to them is become a doctor, lawyer, engineer, and then or get a government job. Settle jaoge hamesha.
Right.
Right, that's it.
Yeah.
I remember a friend, we were playing squash. I play squash. I used to. Now, I used to play squash a lot. And there was this guy who was very well off. Okay, he was making about $400,000 USD a year. He was a corporate lawyer,
Okay.
very Indian guy. Okay, and then one day he was sad, and so in between the game we sat down, and I said, "You're not yourself. What's up?" And that's when he opened up. He said, "All my life I wanted to play guitar and he wanted to do something else, but my parents wanted me to become a lawyer." So then I became a lawyer, and then I got married to a beautiful lady. I have 2 kids. I have a big house. I work 16, 17 hours a day, and every minute I hate it. He goes, every day I get up and I die. And I come home, I just want to sleep. And the next morning, he said, I hate it. My parents don't know it. My wife doesn't know it. They think, because they come to him and say, Shabash, you're making good money. You're a corporate lawyer, okay, with a big firm. Okay, you're a corporate lawyer with a big firm, and we're proud of you. He can't even tell them
Right.
to do anything. That story belongs to billions of people.
Yeah.
And that's why the concept of plurking we were talking about.
What is plurking? I was going to come there. Okay, he stops, I will ask. What is plurking? You've taught to celebrities, you've taught to Bollywood actors, you've taught to thousands of students. What is plurking, Sunil?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the videos that again got viral with Abhishek
Yeah, it
Bachchan.
got like 10, 15 million views. Or
Yeah,
it's been crazy. Yeah.
and he was excited and he said, I'm going to teach my kids now, right? And so plurking is the concept where I met so many people who wanted me to mentor them, coach them, work with them, grow them, help them, not only in real estate but entrepreneurship and personal growth. And what I've found is people are either loving their job, but then they're not making money. Let's say an artist, for example. Like you're an artist, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why your parents or majority of the parents think that you don't even do any work, okay? Or the painter.
Because you're enjoying the work. They're like, why are you enjoying your work?
No, but not only that, but they don't think this is a real job.
Yeah.
They don't think that you're doing a real job.
Right.
Okay, you're playing around. Just get a real job.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, I even heard some of the people say to their father or mother or daughter, say, "Who's going to marry you if you're going to do this?"
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or what am I going to say to my
Right.
family?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound
Even
cool.
someone said, like, if you make videos, who will marry you?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, there will be someone who will, like, find it, okay, he makes videos, let's marry him, right?
Yeah, not only that, but you know, when they go to their family,
Yeah.
they can't. One person will say, "My beta, engineer. My doctor. Mine makes a video." They must have how
Of
much.
course, yeah.
Like, what am I going to tell them?
Exactly. Yeah.
So the idea of plurking actually is there's a deeper meaning. That so this the words that I started with was play and work. You combine it together. So it's plurking. It's really what movies like Three Idiots kind of talked about. So you love what you do and you make money at the same time. So then people said, "Oh, but so I am working." I said, "What happened?" He goes, "I'm making these paintings," and I said, "So, but I'm not making money yet."
Yeah, I'm clicking the pictures of, I'm doing wildlife photography, but I'm not making money. Yeah.
That's right. Or actually painting or actually singing.
Yeah.
And I said, "Then you're not working."
Yeah.
Okay. And then that guy, lawyer, he says, "Oh, he had two big houses. His wife is happy. She can do whatever she wants. Parents are giving in like this." So you're not flirting either. You're living your father's life. You're living your society's life. You're not living your life. That's plurking. Plurking is also enjoying and losing your, going into zone of what you're doing
Yeah.
and making money.
Right.
Plurking is also feeling successful if you love what you want to do. Let's say you want to be a teacher and you're happy with that and you're making enough money to take care of yourself and your family and you're good with that. You're plurking.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're doing something and something big and you're making lots of money,
Right.
and when you're doing something big in the beginning, if everybody who says, "Good job, awesome, I'm proud of you, I knew you can do it," it means you're going the wrong way.
Right. Are
Majority,
you enjoying it?
most people, when they started, their parents, their relatives will say, "Don't, you're crazy, you're stupid, don't do it. This is not the way to do it." That means you're going the right way.
Right.
So plurking is basically a concept that I go deeper into my presentations where I say, how do you actually plurk? Like, how do you actually set yourself up? There are millions of people who they want to give up their jobs. I'm talking about blue collar job. I'm talking about government jobs. I'm talking about white collar jobs. They want to give it up, but they don't know how to do that.
Right.
So they will be enslaved instead of plurk.
Right.
Enslaved either by doing things that they don't like, but then when people look at them because they have money or they have a nice car or house, whatever, they think, "Oh, this guy is successful." So plurking is actually what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to be in Jaipur sitting here doing this. But as you can see, this is not work to me. It's
Yeah.
like fun.
I can see. I
You know,
can see. Yeah.
And you can feel the energy of that
Of course.
person, right? So the idea of plurking is, what did God want you to do plus make money?
This is deep.
What does God want me to do? How do you know that? Just think of all the natural stuff that you're good at. You're good at like Tony Robbins, when I share stages with him and all, his teacher said, "Hey, you talk too much. Don't talk too much." And Tony says, "Now I make billions talking."
Ah.
Oprah said the same thing. They told her, "Be quiet, don't say much. Okay, you talk too much." Now she's a billionaire and well-known person.
Right.
People in school, teachers told me, "Don't think." I make most of my money because I think. Okay.
Crazy.
So working class works for thinking class.
Wow.
Working class works for thinking class, and the school teaches to become the working class.
So how do you think?
So thinking about what you want to do, what you're made for, and thinking about how to set it up, how to scale, how to leverage, how to set up the business or entrepreneurship or the job that you want to do. Ask yourself, if I was rich, would I do this job?
Right.
Right?
Ah.
Or if I was,
If I had enough money to survive for next 100 years, would I do this job?
yeah, or even 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Would I do this job? And majority of the people, like we go to a factory or someplace or a workplace and say, if you won a lottery today, would you stick around, right? They wouldn't even give the notice.
Yeah.
They would be running out of there.
Exactly.
But there are some people who say, if I win it, I still would do this. That's the true Plerking. Maybe they're working for somebody, but if they made money, they probably open up their own business.
Right.
But they would do the same thing. And they are great doctors.
Right.
And they're great engineers, and they're great officers, and they're great whatever profession that God wants, that our family wants us to do. But they should do that,
Right.
right? Because our parents in the 50s, 60s, 70s, with the wars and something like that, and the independence in India and other places, World War I, World War II, maybe at that time that advice was fine. Parents saying, stay secure, get a good job, get some education. In the olden days, even where you put your name outside, you say, your name, BA, right?
Yeah.
Because in those days it
Yeah.
meant something,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
So today,
BA, B.Ed, MA, B.Ed.
yeah. And then they would go the whole
Yeah.
list of
BA,
everything.
MA, PhD. Yeah, it's crazy.
So just say PhD because
Yeah.
but what I'm saying to you is that the system is set up actually to become the working class so you can work for the thinking class. That's why my friend Robert Kiyosaki says A and B students work for C students. So majority of the people who are entrepreneurs, they're C students because they can't get that. And then they hire the A grade.
How did, see, you're talking about Plerking, right? But how did you got into police, and when did you realize that, no, I need to do something else?
Good point. So I have to give credit to my ex-wife. So my wife in that time came to me and said, "You work days, you work nights," and
So you used to work both the shift, day and night shift?
there were periods when if I especially was a detective, I'm doing some.
What's the difference between, you said you're in the police or you're a detective?
The police detective is like, detectives are like what you see wearing like this. What I actually saw when I was in the.
When you
80s.
said detective, I said something like Byomkesh Bakshi, like, something like that detective.
No, the police. So I'm working still with police.
Okay.
I'm a police. So what do you have, CBI or CIB?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Similar like that.
Okay.
So it's a criminal investigation.
Okay.
And normally we don't wear uniforms.
Okay.
Okay. So there was a level where I started a uniform, then I became a police detective, then I became a police negotiator, and then I became a platoon commander. That was my journey in 15 years. Then my wife at that time came to me and said, basically, either the job or the divorce. So we had some issues, and I gave.
How did you met your wife?
Here, arranged marriage.
Okay, it was arranged marriage.
In Jabalpur.
Okay. Were you happy with that?
Yeah. I mean, so basically, I had to divorce either the wife or the family or the police.
Okay.
So I decided to divorce the police, and I was very upset, and I was not happy. It was safe.
You loved the police work?
I loved it. I would have done that. Like there are times that, like when I was younger, I used to play marbles. I used to.
Yeah, kanchi se khelna.
Kanche, lattu, and kites.
Kites, yeah.
To me, policing was better fun.
You're a proper Desi with just a Canadian accent. Am I right?
Absolutely. I'm at heart. I mean, remember, I came back again and again and again to have touch, and especially after COVID, something inside me said, "Go back to India. You're helping people in US, people in Canada, people all over, but why not India?" And I wasn't really doing anything in India, and I just happened to say, "Okay, let's see what happens." I came in, and India opened up their arms, and podcasters and stages and people, they just loved it. And then I knew that there was something that I can do for India.
Right.
So that's basically what happens. But what was the question again?
Yes, we were talking about your journey, right?
Oh yeah, so basically she came to me, and I quit that job, and then I had, the reason why I have become so popular is somebody who's making money, somebody who's doing what he wants to do, somebody who's making.
You said you reached a commander level of
Yeah.
position.
So what
right?
happened was somebody who is actually, what do you call it, secure.
On the peak of their
Yeah.
career.
So and the money is coming in. I mean, let's be honest.
How much you were making at that time?
I don't know, 100,000 or something.
No, that's
dollars.
good money.
Yeah, very good money at that
Yeah.
time. Right now, I would have made over 200.
Yeah.
Okay. So And I was happy with that money. I was happy because,
Right.
plus there's other perks and all that.
Yeah. What are the perks of being a police? I'm constantly
Wait. So what was there was a point that I wanted to share with you. Yeah, this is a critical part because most people struggle with this. How do you clerk or how do you do things from which is secure, safe? I'm used to that, to going into the unknown, and then your family, your parents, your relatives say don't do it, right? That's what happened. So when I decided, everybody was like that, right? Everybody other than my wife said, there's like, don't do it. Do you know 10,000 people applied in the 90s, in 1990, and out of that, I think 2 or 3 people got selected, and you're one of them. Why would you do this? Like, what would I tell people? They're also worried about, "Ab main kya bataunga apni life?" What would I tell my relatives? He was this and now he's what? Real estate kya? I said real estate investor. My daddy was like, "What is real estate investor? What is that?" So basically, the turning point of that is a decision. Once I made the decision, up till the point I made the decision, I didn't make the decision, I'm carrying this. What should I do? Am I here? Am I there? I should quit. I should not quit. I should divorce my wife. Like, what should I do?
You were thinking of divorcing your wife instead of.
Yes. Yes. Because all my friends in the police said, divorce her. Okay? Because who says that you love your job? I want you to divorce. I want you to let it go. And I said to her, well, what do I do if I let this job go?
But why did your wife wanted you to?
So there was a fight before.
Oh.
So basically, idea was, she said, I don't care how you make money, but quit this. So then it was very easy for me. Okay, I don't have business experience. I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't know anything about sales. I don't know anything about marketing. I'm a shy guy.
You were not a this confident speaker before?
Never. I mean, at this point, the only thing I was good at is the police work. That's it. That's it. If it required, then I do it. But that's it. But like I said to you yesterday, if somebody asked me in those days, up to that point, speak in front of 5 people, I would melt to the ground. If somebody says, go dance on the floor, I would not dance. I was not popular with girls. I was not popular with anything like that. So I was very normal, introvert, shy person.
Right.
I was happy, go get up, go to work, come home, spend some time with the family, eat, sleep, do the same thing.
Right.
Days off, go out here and there, come back, sit, sleep, eat, watch movie. That's it. Okay. That's what I was.
Right.
I never thought in millions of years that I can be the guy that will train millions of people.
Wow.
Never. And to become an international public speaker, I would, if somebody had told me at that time, I would say you're crazy. I can't. No, I'm not a public speaker. I'm not a best-selling author. I thought others can do it, not me.
Right.
So I didn't. Now I've decided to quit. So the idea of lesson is, you make a decision first. Decision is the starting point of a change. Your decision. And the word decision comes from Latin word that says cut off everything else. Okay, it's not maybe, and not no. I made the decision. Get out of my way. I will be doing.
Either it is a yes or no. It's not in between.
Yeah, and if I decided to do no, that means I'm divorcing and I'm going back to work. That's the decision I make, and there's nothing else. Or I'm doing this, and I'm doing something. So my decision was, I'm going to quit and I'm going to go into business. I didn't know what, but business.
Right.
Now people say, you're crazy. You're crazy because...
What will you do?
Yeah, what will you do? And people say, you have something special. Everybody has something special.
Yeah.
And I used to say, I have nothing special. People keep asking me, even when I was in school or college or whatever, they're like, everybody has something special. And I said, yeah, maybe he has it, but me, I have nothing special. That's what I used to think.
Right.
And so when I made the decision, when you make a decision, the right people, the right circumstances, the right environment, the entire universe conspires and gets together to give you what you want because you're not backing down.
Right.
You're not saying, I wish, I hope, maybe. You made the decision. Even God turns around and says, we have to give him because he's made a decision. So that was so I made the decision. Number 2, lesson is that when you start to do something big, everybody, almost 90% of the people in your own family will tell you you're crazy. You're in fact even stupid or crazy or something's wrong with you. Why would you do this?
Yeah.
They will sabotage you. Your own family will sabotage you. And when you start to do something different and something big, the whole world should come, especially your family and relatives and friends should say, Shabash, let's do this, right? But guess what? The lesson three is that when you become successful, most of them will say, oh, but I knew you could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
मुझे पता था तो
yeah,
कर
yeah,
लेगा.
yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
Only from examples. And if you screw up, if you make a mistake, which we did in 2000. So 2005 is when I started. 2008 market crash in US, the biggest
Yeah,
crash.
yeah.
So when we lost everything, that's my father came to me and says, I told you, should have done that, right? So they will be very happy if you're successful to say, we knew, or they will say, if you make a mistake, they said, should have
Yeah.
listened to me, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. So if you're thinking of changing and doing something big, just assume people are going to say that. And if
Right.
people say that, say thank you. Even if you can't say thank you to them verbally, inside, say thank you. Because now they're proving that you're doing something big or you're about to do something big.
Crazy.
Crazy, right?
Right.
So that's number two. Number three, what I did was I wrote down, I, Sunil Tulsiani, will make $1 million by this date. I signed it and dated it. I made 16 handwritten copies of it and I put it all over my home. If I wake up, it's right there. If I open the drawer, it's right there. If it's in the mirror in the washroom, it's right there. I said, where do I spend my time every day mostly? That's where I walked around. I started putting those things. I had no clue. How the hell am I going to make $1 million in 1 year? How am I going to do it? Right? People thought it was crazy. One day I opened up a newspaper. My friend, now he's Robert Allen, he said, invest in real estate, no money down. I thought, what a stupid. How can you invest in real estate, no money down? What a fraud, I threw it away.
Yeah.
But somehow I went to his training. I paid $5,000 in those days. Okay, which before that, I hadn't paid $20
For any coaching.
for anything.
Huh.
But $5,000 I paid. Somehow I thought maybe, because I said, what's $5,000 in comparison to if I open up a coffee shop? So if you open up a coffee shop in Delhi or Jaipur or Mumbai, whatever, 1-2 crore, like a decent one, right? I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to open up a Tim Hortons or some franchise, it'd be 200, 300, 400, $500,000. 5,000 in comparison was like, okay, he's going to send me a system and all. I have no idea. Before that, I had no real estate background.
You've not had any property in Canada.
Other than the one I lived in.
No.
And my knowledge of real estate was probably 99% of the people in India. Here's what it is. Somebody puts a sign up, builder, I go there,
I purchased a
put a
property.
deposit, and then one day it goes up. That's the and if it goes down, then I blame somebody.
Right.
if it goes up, then I say I did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. But so anyways, I went to that course. And because of that, by the way, this is after making the decision,
Yeah.
after writing all these things and not knowing what it's going to be. And then I went there. The first thing that your wife, your family, or your husband, or whatever will do is they're going to say, you're stupid. You paid somebody what? $5,000? Right? Or, after that, by the way, I've spent more than $1 million on me since then. Going to events, meeting people, mentors.
How much?
More than $1 million.
Wow.
Right. So I do what I tell.
And how much that $1 million made you?
So the whole point here is you have to do what you tell others to do. So if I tell people you should have a mentor, then I should have a mentor, right? And so the next lesson is you only follow the people who have done it. For example, if a professor in a university is teaching business, if he has a multi-million-dollar business, then you should follow him. But did he just read the book and then repeat what he read?
Yeah.
Right? So I would rather follow.
And he's just a translator.
Yeah. And I want to follow somebody who says, these are the mistakes I made. This is the path. This is how you make the soup. Okay? Let me give you exactly how you do it. And then you follow that person. It's like getting a mentor. It's like getting a guru. It's like getting a warrior. You want to be a money warrior? Hire a money warrior. You want to be a real estate warrior? Hire a real estate warrior. You want to be a spiritual guru? work with spiritual gurus. That's what it is. The best way to do that. So when you do this, you say to yourself, what did they teach me in school? They taught you in school that don't think. So you need to think. Number two, they taught you don't copy.
Right.
You copy.
You copy?
You copy. The fastest way to become rich is to find somebody who has done it, copy them.
There's no bad in copying.
No. Why would it be bad? Copying just means that you're here, he's there, he was here before, he got here. You copy his path.
Yeah.
99% of the people that are successful, they have either improved something, they copied somebody, inspired by somebody.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay? Even books or whatever.
Yeah.
So what happens is you find somebody who has done it and copy them.
Right.
Next is Harvard Business School did a study for 25 years of their students and said only 10% after 25 years were successful, even though they had the same opportunity, same education, same university. What they asked them was, they asked them, what was yours, independent of each other? What they found was, there were many reasons. One was, you become the reference group. You become who you hang out with. You actually just become that.
Right.
Okay. So what you do is you say to yourself, in the last 2 days, how many people did I speak to on the phone? And you go through it and say, how many of those are my teachers and how many of them are blood suckers, energy suckers?
Right.
How many of those people were uplifting me versus...
So when you shifted from detective to becoming a real estate, like getting into real estate, did you left your police friends who were like, from different mindset and different?
Yeah, I did. I had to, because you would think that all the police officers would be happy. They would say, how do you do it? Teach me. Only less than 1% said that. All the other one says, bada ho gaya ye. He's rich now. He's changed.
Yeah.
And partially they're right. I wore better clothes. I was making more money. I was in a bigger house. So yes, I did change.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you will change. You have to change.
Yeah.
But you can then look at that change as a bad thing or a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? Then I realize that when I go somewhere, I had this virus that's IKT. And virus IKT means I know that. So a lot of times people who are listening to this, some of it will say, oh, I already know that. Oh, I already know that. Yeah. Or sometimes they even skip it thinking, I already know that, chalo, let's skip it. But then they will miss the main product idea. But even if you know it, but you don't do it, then you don't know it.
Right.
You know it when you do it. So if they have heard this 10 times already, and I come along 11th time, and now because of me, my inspiration, they do it, now you know it. So leave the IKT behind.
Right.
Talking to a guru. There's a popular saying that 1 hour with the right mentor is better than 5 years of university. Okay? So in that 1 hour, you just need one idea, one direction, one focus, one inspiration that explodes you. Right? That's it.
Yeah.
So that's the next thing, is that once you have the goal and you have decision, you made the decision, you have the goal and you have the mentor, you have the environment, then you have to say to yourself, time does not equal money. Time does not. You heard time equals money. That's baloney, because I might make certain amount of money per hour and somebody has the same hour, they make a lot less, and somebody can make more than me.
Yeah.
So we know time does not equal money. The next one is leave behind. Money makes money. That's also baloney. Okay. Why they started that is the olden days, there was upper class and there is middle and then lower class. The upper class wanted to control everybody. So the idea of saying money makes money means if you don't have money, you'll never be rich. You'll always be poor.
Right.
Okay. Creativity makes money. So when you have money, of course you can make more money.
Yeah.
But when you don't have money, you can also make money.
You can be creative, you can think well, you can sell yourself.
That's right. And sell services that people need and want. Right?
Right.
Because everything, money is just a yardstick for the value that you provided to the number of people.
And selling is serving.
And then yesterday we talked about
Yeah.
this is another thing that I had to kill myself, my mindset with, was selling and serving. Selling and serving took me a long time to actually believe deeply. I mean, I understood it, but I was not practicing it.
Right.
Selling was bad still. Selling, people say still like that. I'm not trying to sell you. And,
It is a
not-
popular thing. I'm not selling you, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying you can
yeah,
try this
you can
product.
buy this.
Yeah.
So, but in every country, the top line of income tax is the revenue, right? The amount of money. How do you think we got that? By selling. How did you get your employee? You sold them.
Yeah.
How did the employee got the employer? They sold them.
Yeah.
How did the parent said don't eat this bad food to their children? They sold the idea. So without selling, the whole world would stop.
Coming back to your story, right? Your first real estate deal. Tell me about that, and how did you actually started getting into the real estate?
Most people already know this. I did something that Robert Allen, my mentor, who has mentored, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of people all over the world, said that I am his top student in the world.
Wow.
That I bought and sold 77 properties in 1 year, making $980,000 profits. So I was off by $20,000 from $1 million goal that I had. So that is something that, first of all, shocked me, because I thought if I worked all my life, then maybe I can save 10 crore rupees, 9 crore rupees, and I'll be set. All my life, not in 1 year.
Right.
And so basically taking that course and then learning the no money down concept. And the interesting part is about 70 of those properties were no money down. Because I didn't have the money to buy 77 or do it. So there's a lot of concept. Let me give you one concept that no money down could be that everybody knows.
Yeah.
So we all watch Shark Tank. Most people do.
Yeah.
Shark Tank. And is a top business, what do you call it, show in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
Starting in US now.
India is also
India's
started.
doing really well, right?
Yeah.
So I have shared stages with, of course, Aman Gupta and Vanita Singh
Yeah.
and all those people, right? And then my friend Kevin Harrington from US, he's a billionaire investor. He's also a friend. And so what happens is in that concept, one brings the idea, one brings the money.
Yeah, of course.
Shark is the money.
Yeah.
So in real estate, what they taught us was how to actually negotiate a good deal by finding motivated sellers that have to sell, negotiate a good deal, put it on contract, and then finding somebody like me as an investor. In those days, I was looking for investors,
Yeah.
obviously. And then this investor puts 100% of the money, and you put your sweat equity, and then he's protected by putting his name, and there's a lien or paper that you can put your protection. So this agreement says Mr. Investor is putting 1 crore rupees, I'm putting no money, and when we sell this property that's worth 1.5 crore rupees, this is your percentage, this is my percentage. This person is basically passive, this person is basically active, majority of active. And then you marry them together. Now this guy's happy because he didn't have to negotiate, didn't have to find good deals.
Got it.
And there's a concept, and there's an idea. Most people think that rich people won't do this. But the truth is, rich people are looking for these people too. These people are looking for rich people.
Right.
And these people are looking for these people. Why? Because if you have 100 crores, believe me, they're saying, how do I make another 100 crore?
Right.
How do I get 20%, 30% return on my money? Because if they sit on that money, they know they're losing money to inflation, right? So it's called joint venture partnerships.
Right.
So in my course, they taught us that you should do 50-50 partnership. So he puts the money, you paint it, you do whatever it is, and you sell it. This person gets his money back first, 100%, before any profits are given to this person. And now there's a 50 lakh rupee profit, 25 lakh rupees for him, 25 lakh rupees for him. So in reality, what happened was when I started, I said the same concept. They said, oh no, I'm putting all the money, I'm not going to give you 50%. So there was a great thing that I learned, and that was this. I said to them, okay, I found the property, I negotiated the property. It's a 30% below market value, 40% below market value. We're expected to make this much money.
Right.
And I spent 2 months or a month finding this property.
Right.
So if 50-50 is not fair, what percentage do you think is fair?
Right.
So whatever percentage they said, I just added in a few more percentage. So some of them will say like, okay, you should get 20 and I should get 80%. And so let's say I agree to that. So what I used to say is, I used to say this, I used to say, let me think. I said, here's what we're going to do. Even though I like 50-50, because we're doing this for the first time, only for this deal, I'll accept 80-20. And we shake hands.
Yeah.
And now he suggested the 80-20 can't back out.
Huh.
Generally speaking. So now we close like that. And let's say we buy it, fix it, flip it in 2 months, 3 months, whatever. Or keep it for renter,
Right.
whatever. When the second opportunity comes, then I go to him and I said, I know last time we did 80-20, but I do 50-50. But because you did it last time, what do you think is fair this time?
Huh.
So then, unless he gives me more, right, my goal would be, okay, 25, 30%. Then what happened over the years is that I was charging 60% and the investors was getting 40%.
Wow.
And there were lineups of investors. So the idea of nothing down is that the second idea of nothing down is I find a good deal, I put it in contract, and this guy doesn't want to do joint venture. He just say, I'm putting all the money. Why should I give it to you? So property is 1 crore, value is 1.5 crore. I'm just making this up. 1.5 crore. I go to him and I say, you give me 1.1. You still make 40 lakh better, and it's 100% yours. And you put a contract with the seller first to protect your interest. So you can't go to him first.
Got it.
Okay? So you then
So you take a contract with the seller that no, I can only sell this property, something like that?
you actually say, I'm buying.
Okay.
And it says, there's a clause that says this contract is assignable, which means it's transferable, which means it's sellable to somebody else. Okay? And then what I used to put in the contract is there's a, what do you call it, due diligence period. Okay?
Right.
Due diligence period. The due diligence period is I need to make sure that financing is there, my lawyer will check, inspection, something like that.
Right.
So in between, if I can't find the investor, then it's returnable. Basically, in 15 days, I can come back and cancel the contract.
Okay.
Okay? So now the risk is basically nothing. So I take that contract for 1 crore, sell it to 1.1, and it's worth 1.5, let's say. So he keeps the money, he gets to the bank, he does the registry, he does everything, he does the fix up. You basically, upon closing, get the 10 lakh rupees from the lawyer.
Right.
Okay, that's a second way that we did no money down. Third way we did was we went to a builder who was either starting out or was finishing up. They were stuck basically with units. So what I did was and in my course I teach how to do this. You build a list of investors first.
Right.
Even today it's easier than what I did before. Build a list of investors who want to buy properties below market value, good deals. Not like what agents do, but good deals. Actually good deals. Okay? Then I teach people how to do an information package, investors package.
Right.
In the investors package, we show how do you know this property is worth 1.5 crore? How do you know somebody agent is not just saying it? And how do you know what is the expected profits? How do you know this is a good area? How do you know it's expected to go up? Let's say international airport is coming or something like that. So we have a package that we make, and then you make the package, and then I go to builder and I say, let's say he's starting out before even anybody else. So I say to him, listen, I want to buy 20 of your apartments.
Right.
Okay. Once he says yes, I say, what is the discount? So he gives me the discount. Then I say to him, what is my fee? My profits.
Right.
So he gives me that. So I say to him, how much are you going to invest in marketing? So let's say there's 100 units, 100 apartments. And let's say he says, I'll invest $1 million in billboards, radio ads, whatever, and building infrastructure and all. And one guy came to me and he said to me, I'm going to spend $500,000 doing a sample apartment. So when people come in, they can look at it and it's easier to sell.
Right.
I said, don't do billboards, don't do sample ads, so that's 1.5 crore. I said, give me 1.5 crore rupees, $1.5 million dollars. And I will decide how much I want and how much I want to give it to the investors. So we took that money and I said to him, when you put a billboard ad, when you put this ad, radio ad, there's absolutely no guarantee. Where with me, if I don't do it, then you don't lose money.
Yeah. I will get you clients.
Yeah. So that's a no money down concept as well. So I say to him in the agreement, you will never ever sell at this price ever. Otherwise, if you do, then we'll sue you. So basically, they're going to open up with this. I get it for this. I put $5,000 to $10,000 per unit for me. So on an average, it was $10,000. So when I sell 10, that's 100,000. When I sold 20, that's $200,000. Okay, but the important part was the investors, the way we had set up, were actually fighting to get these because good property, good area, below market.
Right.
Okay, so that's the advanced version that I teach to make that happen. And so in this case, how much money did I give to the builder to do that? The answer is zero.
How come?
You just do the agreement. So why would they do it? The one word, trust. Why would they trust? It's your brand.
Yeah.
So remember four things in any business, whether it's your business, whether it's my business, whether it's a salon, whether it's a real estate. One is you have a system to attract clients
Right.
into your life. Once you attract them, then you close them, sell them. Once you close them, then you over deliver on your promise.
Yeah, as you mentioned.
And the last one is branding. You brand your name so people come to you in first place, and the cycle repeats.
Yeah. And branding comes from the trust. Yeah, branding is also built from trust, from again and again.
Yeah. So branding again is branding basically means how does a stranger come into your life and trust you fast? That's branding. It's different. Branding means that people don't know me today, tomorrow they know me. If the branding is weak, it might take a year for them to do business with you,
Right.
or 10 years, or never.
Exactly.
Or they can do it next second. If Amitabh Bachchan came today, okay, and said, "I want to be here," you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
He'll get that.
Of course.
No. So that's a brand, right? Branding basically means I go there, I'm a stranger, somehow my name comes into people's life, and people immediately trust you as fast as possible.
Right.
And if they trust you, then they do business with you.
Exactly.
So whether it's coaching, speaking, doing what you're doing, whether it's real estate, it's a trust. Whether it's rupee.
Right.
Tomorrow, Mr. Modi says the rupee is no good. Okay, it's gone.
Yeah.
The brand is gone. You will not accept that money, right? So it's again trust.
Exactly.
Trust to do that.
If someone is in their 20s or early 20s or 30s, what money advice they should follow, or what nowadays everyone wants to be rich at a young age, right? So what sort of advice is they should, or what sort of investment they can do right now that can make them, which is trending right now, that can make them millions of dollars,
Yes.
or they can, if they want to switch their career, what sort of investment they should go into,
Okay. So first,
especially in real estate. Yeah.
yeah. Well, let's talk about actually somebody who's like you're 22.
Yeah.
So somebody who's 22 years old, and how do they become wealthy? Whatever
Right.
whether it's
Yeah.
5 crores, 10 crores, or 100 crores, like what do you do?
Yeah.
So the steps that I told you before, what I started, you write your goal, make this, like all those. So if they can review that,
No money down concept.
not only no money down concept, but the steps that I indicated
Yeah.
for the first year that I did that, starting with making a decision as to how much, and then writing a goal as to how much they want to do.
Right, right.
Then attending events or surrounding themselves with the right people.
Right.
Then finding a mentor, and then identifying a skill, which we talked about, marketing or sales, or both. Identifying skill and then getting that skill.
Right.
Now, learning the English language if they want to especially do international
Right,
work.
right.
But even if they don't want to do international work, even if they just want to do it in India, still would be a great idea to learn
Right,
that
right,
language.
right.
Any language is great to learn, but English would be an
Yeah, of course.
extra
Yeah.
asset. And to do that. And then at the end, find somebody that has done it and you copy them, right? This is the system itself. And then then they have to remember which of these that they want to be involved in. Do they want to be a marketer? Do they want to be a salesperson? They want to be somebody that over delivers for the company or for themselves. Okay, and then or they want to help somebody become a brand, or
Right.
they want to become brand. So these are the four things that they do to that. So, if I was 22 years old, I would identify most likely the marketing or sale. Which one do I enjoy the most? And even if I don't enjoy the most, figure out which one you're willing to do.
Right. Make quick cash first, and then you can
Yeah.
go and figure out and purchase properties. And
So whether it's business, whether it's entrepreneurship, business ownership, whether it's real estate investing, okay? get that skill from the person who has done it. Learn from their experiences of good or bad
Right, right,
experiences. Learn from them. Once you learn from that, and I don't mean learn 6 years of PhD or something like that. I mean short courses are available, 3 to 6 months. They're available right now all over the world, and especially today's day and age. If you can afford it, go there. If you can't afford it, do it digitally,
Right.
and then do the idea where you say, okay, if I wanted to become wealthy and I wanted to get a job, I would not necessarily think about which company I should work with. I would say, who do I want to work for? Identify that human being.
Right.
Okay, I want to work for Sunil Tulsiani. Okay, great. What do I want to do for him? I want to attract the clients, or let's say if I was to spend $10,000 in ads to bring more people, I want to close for Sunil Tulsiani. Okay, I want to close for him. So you say, who can I get as a mentor for free?
Right.
If you don't have the money.
Right.
Okay. In fact, who do I get as a mentor who pays me? Because I'm his employee.
Right.
Okay. And then you go and then you over deliver on whatever you tell your employer.
Right.
So if they come to me and they say they can do this, they'll devote 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. You start at 9, finish at 6.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't do what most employees do, which is, it's 5 o'clock, I'm gone. No, you finish, then you go. So what you do is you act like you own the company
Right.
and then take responsibility for that. The one day what's going to happen is there's going to be a time when they need to fire somebody, they're not going to fire you. One day it's going to come when they're going to say, I need to promote somebody, you're going to be most likely promoted, okay, because you're adding value to do that. So what I would say to myself is that, how do I add more value? What skills are needed? Who do I want to work for?
Right.
Okay. That's the young person's mindset. And then in the real estate, I have a course. I mean, you just buy the course, and or you buy whatever course. You buy the course, you read the books, listen to the right podcast in real estate, okay, and actually try to find a real estate person that you say, I want to work with him. So the last thing you do is contact them and say, give me money.
Right.
This is what happens to me.
You get a lot of meals like that?
I get so I have a team that oversees social media, like LinkedIn or whatever. Mostly on LinkedIn, I get that. Sometimes on Facebook. So they send a message to connect, and my team reviews it and decides the connection or not. So some people, as soon as they get the connection, they think they won a lottery.
Yeah.
They won a lottery because the very next day or next minute, they have a scripted thing that says, I am a content creator, or I am a copywriter, or I'm whatever, and I would like to set up a time with Mr. Tulsiani. I want a job, or I want to do this, right? So initial part, that's one. The other one is, I keep telling this story a lot, and the guy says, "Sir, हमारे गांव में 2 बीघा जमीन है, $1 million चाहिए दे दो." Like that's how they type. Like they don't know me a minute before. Okay, so they are nice people, they're innocent people. I get it, but I tell people, when you become very wealthy and somebody who does not know you immediately sends you a message to say, give me the money, I said, it doesn't even work.
Right.
Has it ever worked?
No.
Never. So what they do is they basically, I say to people, become value to somebody else. So what we call is to create a lose-win situation, not win-win situation. You create win-win with people who are basically on the same level. And when you're reaching to somebody who's above there, you have to create lose-win situation.
Right.
Meaning you lose first, they win. So I would like, you got a one chance to work with that person. And the one chance is they go, I want your money. Well, then they lost their chance basically. But what happens is, about a year ago, I think, somebody sent us a message on, I think it was YouTube or LinkedIn, and said, I was about to kill myself under a train. He said, I wanted to commit suicide because of financial strains. Saw my video, attended my event or whatever, and now he's making good money in real estate in India. Then I came to India and said, yeah, they said, you can't do this no money down in in India. You can't be a millionaire. You can't make 10 crores in 1 year. It's not possible. So the one person, he did it in less than a year. Another person, he did it in 9 months, 11 crore rupees. It works in India as well. Now, I'm telling you this is because there's this mindset that the only way to make money in real estate is to have money, book something, and it's going to go up. Yes, that works until it keeps going up, right? If it crashes, then you lose money.
What's the other way?
The other ways is what I'm saying, buying properties where you're doing joint venture partnership, you're buying properties below market value. The thing is, my club is all about buying at wholesale. Most people buy at retail.
Hmm. And how do you buy it wholesale?
We buy wholesale by learning how to communicate and how to negotiate a good deal with somebody. Become a member of my club. Simple. Or any club, right?
Yeah.
You know, because why?
Smooth plug-in.
Listen, it's the truth. Truth is, if I go to a builder and they know me and I have my brand,
Right.
people don't like me, trust me, for example. And then I say to them, I want to buy 50 properties from you. Obviously, I will get better deal than you.
How much are you investing in India?
A lot, but I won't say how much. But main thing for me is now I am thinking, how do I make 100 millionaires in India now? And my goal is to give people the skill, the inspiration, and say that you can do it.
Right.
And you can do it if you have PhD, and you can do it if you never went to school. You can do it if you have 100 crores already, 1,000 crores, or you have nothing.
Right.
You can do it if you are skinny, black, young, old, men, women, doesn't matter. You can do it. That's the proof I want to bring to India, and that is working really well.
Yeah.
Because people, what I teach, sometimes people know about 90% of it. It's the 10% that is really what they need to grow.
Right. Right.
Okay. So I would say, and by the way, I want to plug this in as
Yeah.
well. So this book was written, I spent about 500 hours during COVID when we were locked in.
Right.
And if there's, I know I'm biased, but if there's one book that they should read,
Right.
it's really Science of Getting Rich. It
Okay.
is it's the one I'm gifting you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And this is what I think I want to give to everybody on your whoever's listening.
Yeah.
I'll give the digital copy of it. We'll put
Yeah, we'll
link
put it in the description.
yeah. And please read it and implement it. It will change your life. This is the book on which the movie The Secret was made.
Ah.
You know, Rhonda Byrne made.
Why did you wrote it? You must have wrote it way back.
No, this is written during COVID.
Okay.
Okay. But this book, the concept was written in 1906.
Oh,
1910.
Yeah.
Before Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
So the idea here is when you want to become wealthy in any business, work, entrepreneurship, this is the book you need to study, not just read,
Right.
just study it. And one of the ways I am serving people is I believe selling is serving, but there's other people who can't even afford this book.
Right.
And so if I can be help to people who can just get it for free, just start with that. If you have no money, start with that. And then one day when you can come to events and do all that stuff, come to those events. One day you become a mentor, you become a coach, you become a public speaker to inspire others. Write your own book in the future.
Right.
So that's what I would say.
Okay, Sunil, what is the best piece of advice you've ever heard or received?
There's so many of them, obviously. There's
Okay, let me put it this way.
my best advice is the advice that I give, which is to plurk.
Yeah. No, but we have talked enough about plurking, right? So any other advice than plurking, if you can suggest or share?
I would say the best advice that I think that is so easy to understand but very hard to implement, which is selling is serving. If you can learn this concept deeply, you'll never be poor.
Right.
You'll never be poor. I don't care if you sell water or coffee or haircuts. You will find a way to multiply your stores.
Right.
You'll find a way to distribute properly. If you can sell with the intent of thinking and saying, I'm doing God's work and I'm serving, then you are going to have the impact on the world you're going to be respected, and the money will come as a byproduct,
Right.
where you can then go back and help employ more people,
Right.
donate more,
Right.
have an impact. That, we've been helping in India, for example. We did 500 or 600 eye operations. We have built wells because water is an issue. We have helped the slums in Mumbai.
Right.
The idea there is you're going to do more than what you. So right now, when I was not that rich, maybe in Mandir I would put some money right here and there. Still good.
You pay some money, like, out of your card to the
Yeah.
the people who come on the road. Yeah.
Yeah. But as you become rich, chances are, if you're good, and majority of the people are, chances are you're going to do better for the society by employing more, by spending more to the environment that you live in, by donating more. So I'm doing God's work.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing God's work, if I'm making money from it, I'm helping the world. Now, the last thing I'm going to say is that I'm helping the world, and in that world, I am included. Meaning, I'm not here to sacrifice and kill myself for the benefit of others. I'm helping the world, and I am part of that world. And if I'm part of that world and I'm benefiting, that is good.
Right. It's good. Selling is serving. Right. What is the worst piece of advice you've ever heard or received?
I don't think anybody has asked me before. Worst advice, that do it anyways, nobody would know. So something wrong, nobody would
Do
know.
something fishy.
Yeah, just nobody would know. How would you?
Someone told you this in India?
Not only in India, but all over the world. I even had like advice from lawyers who are my mentors. Some of the mentors that I don't deal with anymore. The idea is, how would they know?
Yeah.
Yeah, how would they know? Like if I knew that this water, we're gonna hide it.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. This water had something bad, and I knew it, but it wouldn't really kill you.
Right.
But it's not good.
Right.
So how would they know? But it costs you half.
Huh.
You know?
But you shouldn't do something fishy.
You should not do it, do it as if your clients are watching you behind the scenes. So if you're making food, if I work in the kitchen, something went wrong, don't just pick it up from the floor and dump it back on the plate. Okay.
Crazy. Even Ratan Tata said something similar, right? He said there are a lot of people, entrepreneurs who give excuses that you can't operate in India without doing something fishy and
Yeah.
So he says we are the examples. Tata is one of the biggest businesses, and he said it on camera that we don't do anything fishy, and he can come and commit, say,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So you can do it. Okay, so this is the last round. It's a rapid fire round, and chai or coffee,
Chai.
Messi or Ronaldo,
Messy.
mountains or beaches,
Mountains.
early morning or late night,
Early morning.
police life or business life,
Police life.
books or podcast,
Books.
real estate or stock market,
Real estate.
gold or silver,
Gold.
the silver markets which are going up right
Yeah.
now. What's your opinion on that?
So if you are for gold or silver, if you're rich, gold. Many reasons. One, gold has always been seen as the money, and secondly, the gold to keep and store. It's easier to keep this much gold rather than keeping silver
Right.
this much, right?
Right.
And that's one. And chances are, over time, when you're buying gold, buy it for 5 years or 10 years. Not like today when down, so I sell, and tomorrow I buy when it goes up. Overall, I feel like gold would give better return in 5 years, not like in 6 months, maybe. There might be a point where silver can outrun gold for a short period of time.
Okay.
But once that happens, then
Do you think that will happen?
yes,
In the next 10 years, 15 years?
less than that.
Okay.
I feel silver ROI would be higher than gold in short term.
Okay.
But
For like 6-7 months or
Yeah.
or a year or two.
Less than 12 months.
Okay.
But in a gold itself, I feel like, but I only buy gold or silver based on the 5-year mark. So I've been getting recently a lot of my friends, even relatives who I've never heard, they contact me, and then instead of saying, once they say hi, say, what should I buy, gold or silver? Right? So the answer for silver is that if you are not that rich and you can only buy a coin, then just keep buying coins, you know, and all that stuff, and you figure out where to store them.
Right.
You know, and some people ask me, but I would say to you, gold and silver are basically slightly above inflation overall. You
Right.
know, not just don't count the last 6 months or a year or so. Gold and silver have done very well
Right.
in the last.
Of course.
But overall, if you go back 30 years, 40 years, the idea is if the inflation is 5% and you make 7 or 8%, you still made more
Yeah.
than that. And people who say to me, I should have bought gold 5 years ago, are going to say the same thing 5 years from now. Or the real estate, by the way. If you think real estate is expensive right now, just look at what happened 5 years ago, look at what happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Now do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's going to go up.
Right.
The real estate is a necessity. It's not a want. Yes, we can sometimes we buy bigger, but roti, kapra, or makan, and out of those three, makan is the only thing that appreciate. Roti dies, kapra dies, makan goes up usually.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, this is the last question.
Good.
Is that good or bad?
Debt is good. There's good debt, bad debt.
Okay.
But overall,
Yeah.
debt is the only way to grow massively. Massively. Because all over the world, this is a big secret, debt doesn't get taxed. Okay. So
Yeah.
this asset I have is worth 100 crore rupees. This asset. And I need to live and survive. So I can sell this every year, 5 crores, 10 crores, whatever I need, or 1 crore. And I sell it. Once I sell it, I'm going to pay some sort of income tax,
Right.
right? But we can do what Elon Musk did with Twitter,
Yeah.
right? You borrow money on this and get a debt.
Yeah.
You use that debt and pay no tax.
Yeah. But my father told me to do anything but don't get a debt in life.
Most people do say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Most people do
Yeah.
say that. And I think it's a good advice for most people who want to stay poor and middle class. That's a great advice for them. Don't get into debt. Don't do anything like that.
Crazy. Thank you so much, Sunil. I learned a lot from this podcast, and it was a masterclass for me as well.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for your time and coming all the way to Jaipur. Would love to do a second part of it when I'm more into real estate and I have a little bit more knowledge. So we'll deep dive into the podcast.
Yes.
But thank you so much for your patience and understanding my very very different sort of questions. But thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Yeah.